Happy Self Love Sunday. I am Moe Sass, the host of Self Love Sundays with Sass. I am a certified life coach who considers herself an aide in the village who walks along people's journeys to living the life that they so desperately desire. And that's in terms of career, finances, love, relationships of all kinds, right? And we come here every single Sunday to gather to talk about a plethora of different topics that I hope that help you along your journey. If you ever like to book a session with me, you can reach out to me at info@moesass.com, and that's info at MOE, S as in Sam, A as in Apple, S as in Sam, S as in Sam.com. And I'm super excited because my website will be operating soon. I'm almost done. It's almost complete. I'm in the final edits of it, so that feels amazing. And you guys will get to have that information hopefully soon. Hopefully by the next time we meet again. I hope that everybody's doing well. Let me tell you, last week I'm telling you, the negative entities be busy, y'all. They just be so busy because I did the Self Love Sunday video and it just would not upload. Like it just wouldn't upload. And I decided instead of letting that pull me down or bring me into a negative space, I said, you know what, it's all good. You know what, maybe this is not meant to come out, and we get to move forward, and that's when you know that things are truly different in your life is when something happens and you respond to it very, very differently. And that's kind of what I want to talk about today is, I have these conversations with my clients often. The same conversations I had with myself because I'm real, y'all. I don't come here trying to BS nobody. And the conversation is, about change of life. Like, we always talk about, ways to change, or I want to change this. I want to change my career. I want to create a plan B. And that's kind of what I'm really great at. Teaching women how to create their plan B, right? A lot of people are on their jobs now, but it's not their purpose, right? It's not their true vision for their life. So I help them create their plan B. And they may want to change directions in terms of how they are, their ways of being, right? I want to be in a happy, loving relationship and it's not working. And that's because, there are some ways and some things that I have to work on, right? Most of that's healing, and we can talk about that in another video. And with that being said, please, guys, check out my videos on YouTube. My YouTube channel is Moe Sass. Go back and check out. There's so much content there, and I really hope that you enjoyed that as well as this. And what they talk about, changing the direction of their life. And it's like, what does it take? What does it take to really create change in your life? Whatever it is, because the way we do one thing is truly the way we do everything, right? So what does it take to create true change? I'm just going to tell you the number one thing for me when it came down to wanting to change is enough was enough. I remember saying that I don't care what it takes. I don't ever want to be, do, or have those things anymore. And a lot of it was negative, right? I don't want the toxic relationships with all people. And I'm not just talking relationships. I'm like, I'm done with that. Like, if I have to argue and fight and fuss, and don't get me wrong, there's going to be some disagreements. But when I'm talking about arguing, fighting, and fussing, I'm talking about where we're low down and dirty. And I'm calling you, your mama, and your cousin every other name in the book, right? I was like, yeah, I don't want to do that anymore. That's not cute. And I was willing to give up being right to be happy. And I'm still willing to do that. Like, and I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't always get it right, right? I'm not perfect. Perfect is corny. You gotta mess some things up to understand, how to get it right, right? So willing I just said, I don't care about being right anymore. I want to be happy. And what that looks like is sometimes I was breaking my own heart. And I just kind of sent that message to a client today. We were having that conversation. It's like, what do I mean? Let me give you a prime example. I'm going to use me. I was in a relationship that I knew he was cheating. Like I knew it, right? I knew. And it wasn't just some gut instinct, y'all. I'm talking about I knew because I had done busted him before. Like I do what I do. And instead of letting that be enough, and just taking that and just be like, you know what? I'm worth more than this. I love myself enough because I don't care what you guys say. That has nothing to do with love, okay? Because I love a lot of people and things that I will never go back to because they're not healthy for me, right? So it was, I love myself enough and I know I'm worth more than this, right? It was just like, you have to know those things. So at the time, I did not know those things. So I needed to be right. I needed to prove myself right. So what do? I get on the phone with the other woman, right? And we go through all these things. What did I do that for? What did I like? I'm being real with y'all today. Everybody don't want to be real. What did I do that for? Because I ended up staying longer, right? And then her and I had to have another conversation. Like, all because I needed to be right about something that I already knew. So, with with that being said, is that's what I mean by sometimes we break our own hearts. You already know. You already knew, right? So this is me talking to myself. Sometimes I'm talking third party, y'all. So I had already knew. I had already knew, right? So I didn't need that validation. I just wanted to be right. I wanted to seal the deal. I needed to break my heart over and over and over again to finally leave, right? And that really is a testament to just how much I didn't love myself. It's really a testament to just how much I didn't see my worth and my value. And this has nothing to do with the other person, because that's the other thing. It's like everybody gets in this tissy fit and the guy is this and the guy is that and she's in this, she's in that, and they're none of those things. They're not. Has nothing. Your life, what you choose, how you choose to do what you do, has nothing to do with anybody else. You're not a victim. You get to make a choice. I will say this until the end of time. You are not a victim. You get to make a choice. No one can make you a victim, darling, in this grown age. We get a choice. We get a choice. Now, I always say, and I like to say this because my voice travels across many airways, is that when you are a child and you had things happen to you, you didn't have a choice. You were a victim to your environment, to your parents, and the things around you. But as an adult, honey, we are no longer victims to anyone. The only person that can truly make us a victim is ourselves, right? Meaning that we feel we don't have a choice to get out of that relationship. We don't have a choice to leave that job. We don't have a choice but to move forward in terms of, okay, I lost my job. So instead of sitting and wallowing in it, right? We have a choice in how we spend our money if we want to create financial stability and financial wealth for our generations to come, right? So all of that is a choice, and that's what I mean by that. In no ways, in no means am I talking about victimhood and someone being, harmed or hurt in some sort of way, okay? That's completely different subject, and those are subjects that I don't get into generally. I just want to state that up front because I have so many people who listen. But I'm talking about in terms of things that you have control over, right? You have control over whether or not you stay in a relationship. You have control over whether or not these people are your friends. You have control over what environment. Everybody acts like you can't move. Why not? You can absolutely do anything you want to. It's called get on the bus and make it happen, right? Or a train or whatever. Get in your car, move. Everybody, you get to make that choice, right? Same thing with your job. You complain about it every day. You get to make a choice to create a plan B. Right? Okay, if you can't leave today, if that's what you feel, then instead of focusing on everything negative, create a plan B to go live your purpose, because that's why you're not happy. Somebody ain't ready for that conversation though, because you are not until you walk into your purpose. That purpose meaning what you were put here to do, that thing you do so easily, whether it is baking a cake, whether it is cookies or whatever that is that you do effortlessly. Mine happens to be the way that I love on people in my gift to gab. I love to talk. I love to speak life into people. I love to help people change their lives. That's what I do easily. I've done it since I was a kid, right? So that's my thing. Yours may be something completely different. Yours may be finances. Like, listen, you may be able to budget the heck out of something, right? You may be the most excellent trip planner. That could be your purpose, right? To give people the gift of being able to get away, to reset, to renew, right? It's how you look at that thing. So that may be your purpose. Whatever it is you signed up here to do, until you do that, you're not going to be satisfied. Okay? So what are some of the things? The very first thing, I'm going to give you five things that you can do that will help you on the path, on the journey to changing your life. Okay, the very first thing is watch your words. Life and death is in the tongue. You have to get into it, and I'm going to say you get to, you're blessed to, you can choose to, not you have to, because no one has to do anything. You really don't. You can choose to do it. You can understand you get to do it, or you can say I'm blessed, right? So and you have to start claiming. I just said you have to start, right? No. See, this is what I'm talking about. You mess it up, so what? Move forward. Okay. You get to claim the things that you want, not what you don't want. What does that look like, right? So instead of complaining about the job that you're on because you don't want it, start talking about the thing that you want to do. Get a vision board. Actually, a matter of fact, I worked on mine yesterday. Get a vision for your life. What is the vision for your life, right? Start creating a vision for your life. Start claiming the things you want to do. Start claiming the relationship. This is the number one thing. Ladies, can we talk about it? Because I do have more female clients than males, but I do hear this from males too. And when I say, what is it that you're looking for in a mate? The first thing they do is, well, I don't want somebody who's going to cheat, and I don't want somebody who's. I didn't ask you what you don't want. There's a reason why. Because the more you speak about what you don't want, the more you feel the things you don't want, you get what you don't want, because that's the energy that you're putting out, right? You have to start to speak life. What is it that you do want? You want someone who's spiritually, who's effective communicator, someone who is loyal, someone who you can trust with your emotions, that you feel safe and secure with. And I'm not talking safe, secure like he can go beat up the world, but I'm talking about he's a soft place to land. Right? Have to start speaking to someone. You want someone that's financially stable, and there's nothing wrong with that. We have to get away from that. Okay, there's nothing wrong with that. You want to know that this person can take care of themselves, and that's okay. Hello, somebody. That's okay. I will never ever get in front of anyone and say that I don't want a man that's not financially stable. I do. I want someone that I know that can take care of himself. Because if you can take care of yourself, then when we come together, right, then that thing works. But if you cannot take care of yourself and you are in the ditch, what? I'm not going in there with you. I know that sounds bad to say, y'all, but I'm real in these streets. You know what I'm saying? And that doesn't mean that I'm going to put that person down. It doesn't mean that I look at them, in some judgmental type of way. I just know that that's not for me. I work too hard. I work too hard on myself, mentally, physically, financially, emotionally, to be in a certain place anymore. And that's okay. I did that in my 20s, honey. And that's all right. And that's the other thing too, speaking your truth, knowing that that's okay. That's okay. You know what I'm saying? Having someone that you know can take care of themselves in that way. And then you notice what I said though, because I know people gonna get this misconstrued. I didn't say he had to have 6 figures. I didn't say he had to be a millionaire. That's not what I said. I said he has to be able to take care of himself. Very different conversation. So for those of you who are about to come after me after this video, I didn't say that. I said have to be able to take care of himself. Okay? There. Now, off of that. So claim what you want and not what you don't want. Okay? And it's going to be very, very important. Even in your family structure, right? I claim what I want. My kids work my nerve. They work every single nerve that I never thought I had, right? But at the end of the day, I claim what I want from them, in terms of their success, right? I talk about those things. Number 2, this is the biggest thing. Self-development. And I'm talking about developing yourself from reading books to listening to podcasts. Hi, y'all. Listening to podcasts such as mine, getting tips and tools. I'm talking about going to conferences, workshops, if you want to be better, you have to, you get to, you can choose to, you are blessed to better your best. You get to better your best. This is not to say that you're so down and out and such a bad person. It's not that. But the thing is, in order to go to the heights you want to go to, you get to develop yourself. You get to develop yourself. What does that look like? It's not just because I did this for years. I'm going to tell you guys, I used to be the girl who used to go to all the conferences and go to places and go and be hyped up, right? Right? Just in it. Energy. Hyped up, right? And then come out. I would do something like the next day, maybe maybe the next week, right? Because I was hyped. And then after that, it would all stop. Keeping this real funky with you. That's not what it's about. It's to go to those places and immediately put something into action, right? And I'm talking about committed action. Committed, right? That means that you get to make a list of all the things that you walked out with and add it to your goal sheet, because everyone should have their goals written out. I don't just have a vision board. I have my goals written out, and I have at least I want to say probably now maybe 100 and something goals written out, and I'm going to 300, and there's a reason for that. But don't just talk about it, be about it. This is the biggest thing because people love to talk, honey. It's like, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And they're claiming this and they're claiming that, right? The Bible says, judge a man by the fruit it bears. Judge a man by the fruit it bears. Not the fruit that it claims, not the fruit that it talks about, right? The fruit that it bears. It's so important to sometimes just kind of shut your mouth and get busy. Shut your mouth, get busy, right? All this talking is, and unless you're talking to and talking about ways to further that goal or to, really step into that, committed action, less talk, more work. Because there's so many people running around talking about all the things, right? I'm this and I'm that. I did. In the past don't count, y'all. I'm talking about you're saying that you want to change. You want things to be better in your life. We're talking about the ways of being that you get to be to walk into that. Okay? And putting that into committed action. And commitment means deliberate action. Deliberate action, right? That means what I mean by that is making it happen no matter what. Prime example, this morning I didn't get it. Like I feel great, right? I really do. Like overall, like I feel good, but I have some things going on in my life too. And that didn't stop me from committing to the thing that I love to do the most, my purpose. And that's sitting here with you today, right? We can't let those things get in our way. I'm committed to this no matter what. I'm committed to bettering my best no matter what. I'm committed to doing the things today that others won't do in order to have the things tomorrow that others won't, right? I'm going to say that again. I'm willing to do the things today that others won't do in order to have the things tomorrow that others won't have. That's what I mean by being committed. Being committed. Deliberate action. Self-development is the key to your happiness. Bettering your best. Get yourself some new books. And when I talk about willing to do the things today, let's talk about it. So like yesterday, I'm purging right now. So when this season comes around for me, this is about purging, getting ready for the new year that's to come. Now I have a vision board that's like 5 years out. I have one that is, and then the one for, 2022 is the one that I'm working on right now, right? So yesterday I spent like 3 hours maybe like purging my kitchen out. I'm going to do the whole house and then working on my vision board. I was committed to it. I didn't get on my phone. I wasn't on social media, that kind of thing. It's taking that time out to really, really focus. I read books probably more than most people would even ever imagine. So I'm not watching TV. I'm reading. I'm feeding my mind. And that's the things that we talk about when it comes to, the things most people won't do. Everybody's like, yo, where the barbecue at? Where the party at? I'm like, yo, where that book at? where that next thing I need to listen at, right? I'm writing down. I'm developing workshops, and my workshops are going to be coming for you guys. So we can actually do this, with a group of women. So I'm developing my website. You know what I'm saying? So those are the things. What are you willing to give up? What are you willing to give up? Because if you say you want change, if you say you want to be successful, there's something you have to give up. I give up lots of things. I do. And I know that it's all worth it. It's all worth it for me because I see the change. I see the growth, right? And I see exactly where I'm headed. Okay, number 3, I was just getting ready to get into routine. What does your mental, physical, emotional, spiritual, and nutritional routine look like? All of that's important. If you say you want to be successful, I don't care if it's in a relationship of any kind, career wise, financial wise, you choose to, and you're blessed to take care of yourself mentally, physically, emotionally, nutritionally, right? That means working out. Find something. I don't even care if it's walking 30 minutes a day, whatever that is, right? Moving your body, feeding your body the right things, and not just feeding your body the right thing, feeding your mind, feeding your spirit. Are you in tune and in touch with your higher power? If you're not, I'm going to need you to get there. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to need you to get there because doing this If you really want to evoke change, there are going to be so many negative entities, negative thoughts, negative people, negative things pulling on you to pull you backwards into your old ways of being. You're going to need to be in tune and in touch with your higher power. I'm telling you right now, I always use me. Me and my boyfriend got into something the other day, and he said something, and I'm telling you, I could feel the fire. It was like the fire that lit within me. It was like, whoa. Now, in that split second, because this is what happens when you are triggered. In that split second, right, you have a choice. You can either go back to your old ways of being, or you can choose to. You can choose to respond to things differently. So I chose to respond differently, and it was like, listen, let me call you back. I'm gonna need a minute to process this, right? I'm gonna need a minute, and I took more than a minute to process it, and it was worth it for me because what was I doing? I wanted to get in tune and in touch with. Number one, I wanted to stop the trigger in this trap, right? So the way to change the trigger is to address it right when it happens, okay? I wanted to respond differently, A, and B, I wanted to understand why did that make me feel the way it did. I had to get in tune and in touch, and then that meant for me to go back to the age and the time period and the thing that caused that initial thing in me to react that way, right? So I wanted to sit with that, and I did just that, and and then for me, it was worth it. It was worth it. It was worth, because sometimes we have to say, because people are like, you want to talk about it? Not right now. Sometimes it's worth it to take a minute and a pause, because I realized I was about to let him have you. I was about to cut his head, his knees, his everything off. Like, and that is my tongue. The life and death is in the tongue, y'all. Wash your mouth. So I realized that was about to happen. And I wanted to do something different because I had already had those kind of relationships. I already had those toxic, argumentative, let's knock down, drag out, pull out somebody's edges. I've been there, done that, and I'm not doing that anymore. Right? I'm not saying that we're not gonna have disagreements. Clearly, we're having disagreements, and I get to be different in that. Okay, so that's what I mean by responding things to respond to things differently. But all of this is a part of me developing a routine. Okay, so first thing in the morning, listening to positive things, developing myself. That's another form of self-development, right? I meditation. These are all the things that help me, and it's a part of my routine. Meditating on things. So that's the whole thing, right? So meditating on what happened instead of just going in and going off gave me a different shift. It gave me a different perspective for myself, right? So that's the, and you have to establish a routine. I mean, some people have a night routine, some people have a morning routine. You pick one, but the routine is important. My routine looks like this. I get up I change my time. I get up at 4:30. I meditate. I read the Bible. I do positive affirmations in the mirror. I get dressed, and then I'm at the gym by 6 a.m., right? So at the gym by 6 a.m., I come back home. I get in the shower and do shower meditation, and then I start my workday, right? That's how I start my morning. So you can develop yours however you see fit, but that's how I do mine. All right. The fourth thing, you must be willing to fail. Anything, and Les Brown, I love him because he taught me this. Anything that's worth doing is worth doing it badly. Anything that's worth doing is worth doing it badly. What does that mean? Listen, when I first started these podcasts, I didn't know what the heck I was doing, and I did it bad. And here's the thing, and when you don't know how to do something, you're gonna do it badly. So you do it until you learn how to get it right. And I know I'm still not always there, and that's okay. I'm gonna continue to do it, right? That's how you evoke change. You have to be willing to fail. Let me tell you something. Anything that's worth having, love is worth having for me. I was born to love on others. And I'm one of those. Yes, I know I'm going to be married. That's just what it is. And guess what? Going through these relationships is worth doing it badly until I get it right. I love my boyfriend. But if we don't work out and it didn't happen, that doesn't mean I'm going to quit on love. No, it just means I'm going to keep going until it lands where it needs to land, right? And understand that no relationship is perfect and you're always going to have things, right? And same thing with my career. I'm willing to step in front of this camera and do it badly until I get it right, right? Same thing when it comes to my speaking business. Same thing when it comes to coaching. Anything that's worth I'm telling you, anything that's worth having is worth doing it badly. You're not going to get it right out the gate. You got to get rid of perfectionism. And I take you always back to the fact that, repetition is mastery, right? So doing it repetitively, you're going to master that thing. The same, think about when you learned how to do math, right? Repetition equals mastery. You didn't know how to do long division. Sal, some days I still think about the fact that we did long division, but we're not going to talk about that today, right? You're going to talk about multiplication, right? It took you to do it over and over and over again, and then you mastered it. It's the same thing with anything else, right? You have to be willing to fail. I have to be willing to get in front of these videos and make mistakes. I have to be willing to get in front of audience and make mistakes. It's okay. I'm gonna get to learn from that, right? So that's number 4. You have to be willing to fail. I'm willing to fail. I'm willing to fail. I'm willing to fail on my road to going where I'm going. I'm willing to fail. I'm willing to listen. I'm willing to fail. And here's the thing. The best apology is changed behavior. I'm willing to change that behavior as I go forward, right? And when I'm talking about apologize, I'm talking about apologize to myself, right? You mess it up, you clean it up. Move forward. Take the lesson. Move forward. Something just happened to one of my girlfriends the other day, man, and it blew me away because I heard her say that she was questioning her gift. Things are not always going to work out the way you think they are. There's sometimes when we think we're listening to our ego and we think we're listening to spirit, and sometimes we don't believe we're listening to our ego. We think it's our intuition. We think it's spirit, and it's our ego. So things happen. But when things happen and things break down, don't start questioning your gift. Don't start questioning your worth. Don't start saying, oh, I'm bad at all relationships and this will never work out and all men are this and all women are that. Please knock that off. It didn't work. So what? Now what? You get to move forward. Take the lesson. Take the lesson. And I'm not saying that we're not going to grieve, and I'm not saying it's going to be easy. But if it's hard, do it hard. Do it hard till it gets easy. Okay? And lastly, faith. You have to believe. The magic is believing. You have to believe in yourself. There's going to be so many people. You know how many opinions I get on a regular basis about the things that I do and how I spend so much time sometimes in the lab and not necessarily doing other things. And I hear so much. You're going to hear it, and it's okay because those people love you. And you have to know what you know about you. You have to have faith in your vision. My vision is bigger than those words. That doesn't mean I don't get to have fun. Yeah, I get to plan that. Listen, I'm about to go have some fun today. I'm going to go find me some professional clothes. That's fun for me, right? Retail therapy. Don't do that, y'all. It doesn't mean I don't get to have fun, right? It just means that I have tunnel vision. My vision is so big. My dream is so big that sometimes I don't have time to do the things that other people are doing. I don't, and it's okay. But this is why you got to believe in yourself. You got to know you. You got to know where you're heading. You got to know what you're doing. Because people will try to sway you in the name of love to do 1,000 things. They'll try to sway you, listen, to sit around and gossip. They'll try to sway you to sit around. And there's nothing wrong with watching a movie. But if you're spending 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hours a day watching TV, we're going to have to talk about some things because and your life is not where you want it to be. Hello. Those times and those hours could be spent on self-development, routine, meditating, writing your goals, doing your vision board, right? So that's just that. I'm not saying that we don't take the time out to do certain things. Also, I just believe in too, this becomes a part of knowing yourself, right? Watching certain things on TV don't help me. As a matter of fact, it messes with my mind. Same thing about looking at certain things on social media, right? I'm very sensitive, so I can't listen to certain things. I'm not watching a bunch of killing and all that negative stuff. That stuff affects me, so I know that. So you have to have faith and know and believe in yourself enough to say, hey, that's not for me. And that's okay. Be okay with that. But you have to have faith in yourself. It hurt my heart yesterday to hear my girlfriend say, she questioning her gift. Are you kidding me? One of the most gifted women I know. All because something didn't work out. Something didn't work out the way she thought it was. The expectation, and this is why we get to let go of expectation. Our expectations kill us sometimes, y'all. My expectation sometimes kills my relationship. I'm just going to be the one to say it. You can't expect people to do it how you do it. You can't expect it to say it how you're going to say it. You can expect them to feel how you're going to feel because you are you and they are them. We have to get honest in that. Sometimes my boyfriend's expectation kills our relationship because I'm telling you, I'm different, y'all. I'm a wild card. You understand what I'm saying? So your expectations sometimes kill you. You gotta let go of the detach from the outcome. Speak your truth, not your trauma. Right? But I'm telling you guys, you have to, the magic is believing. I wanted to end this video on the magic is believing. You have to know that if you woke up this morning, you have another day. You have, first of all, you have another second, another minute, another hour, another day to better your best. You have to know the magic is believing in yourself. Believing that your dream can come true. Believing that you can have the love that you want. You can have the relationship you want. You can have the friendships you want. You can have the children you want. You can have the family you want. You can have the boat you want. You can have the house you want. You can have the wealth you desire. Every single morning you get up. Every single morning. You have to say the magic is believing. I'm one step closer to my dream when I decide to watch my words, develop myself, develop a routine, get a routine about myself, be willing to fail and believe in me. When God gave you that thing, he put on the inside of you because your purpose is inside of you. Let me just be the one to tell you, come back here and stop looking for it externally. Just like he placed your happiness and your joy inside of you. When he gave you that thing, those people can't see it, nor really understand what you're doing because it wasn't a conference call, baby. He gave it to you. The things he gave to me, he gave to me. This is mine. It wasn't a conference call. So I understand that people are not going to understand it and they're not going to get it. And it's okay. I still love them anyway. And it's not to say, I want to be clear on this, that you don't gain wisdom and knowledge from others. That's not what I'm saying. Because people can see things sometimes that you cannot see about yourself all the time. I'm saying I got some blind spots, y'all. But I'm making a point to have to call in the people that I trust and I know that won't just tell me what I want to hear, who are going to actually tell me the truth and say, listen, you need to tighten this up. Or look at it from this perspective, or shift this or shift that, right? I have those people in my life. I'm not saying go be so tunnel in your vision in your head where you don't hear the things that other people are experienced, their experience of you. It's very important. Feedback is very important. That's the data that you need that will help you catapult yourself into the next level of your life. Okay. So I want to cut this short. I went a little bit longer than I expected. I love you. I thank you for listening. I hope you have the most amazing Sunday. And remember, when you leave this video, commit to action, whether it's committing to getting a new book to develop yourself, or committing to writing down your goals, or committing to making a routine, or being committed to watch the words that you use, because life and death is in the tongue. Whatever that is, I really hope you turn this off and get to, because you are blessed to working on that. I love you guys. info@moesass.com. You can also follow me on Facebook and Instagram at Life Coaching with just a W, Sass, SASS. Have a great Sunday, y'all.